Okay children, this is your third class in geography lesson 3 and we are going to start from infiltration. So last class we saw till this, isn't it? Different forms of precipitation, and now we are going to start from infiltration. Water entering the soil at the surface of the ground is termed as infiltration. What is infiltration? Water entering the soil at the surface of the ground. Okay, when rainwater comes, okay, what happened? It is falling on the surface of the land. Okay, after some times the land absorbs the water. Okay, so the water which is entering the surface of the ground is termed as what? Infiltration. Got it? Infiltration allows the soil temporarily to store water. So infiltration, what it does, it allows the soil to store the water temporarily, okay, making it available for plants use an organism in the soil. So that water is used for the plants and trees to absorb water for its root. Infiltration is an important process where rainwater soaks into the ground. So what is it? The main process is the rainwater is getting soaked into the ground through the soil and underlying rock layers. So underground water, it goes underground. Okay, the soil is absorbing the water for the purpose of plants and trees to grow. Okay, and the underlying water will be absorbed by the rock layers also. Some of this water ultimately returns to the surface through springs or low spots down hills. Some of the water remains underground and is called groundwater. The rate of infiltration is influenced by the physical characteristics of the soil, vegetative cover, moisture content of the soil, soil temperature and rainfall intensity. The terms infiltration and percolation are often used interchangeably. So infiltration process, this is the picture from your book. Precipitation, rainwater falls on the ground. See, it is absorbing, okay, rainwater is getting into the soil, it is becoming as a water table, okay, and less infiltration in non-porous soils and rocks, more infiltration in porous soils and rocks. They have given the arrow mark here, so river water. Next, this is percolation. What is percolation? Percolation process. Sun condensation is happening here, transpiration happening from the trees and plants, evaporation happening from the water, that is water is changing into gaseous form. Okay, again precipitation is happening through rain. Okay, so runoff water, precipitation as percolation. Fine. Percolation is the downward movement of the infiltrated water through soil and rock layers. What is percolation? Percolation is downward movement of infiltrated water through soil and rock layers. Infiltration occurs near the surface of soil and delivers water from the surface into the soil and plant root zones. Percolation moves the infiltrated water through the soil profile and rock layers, which leads to the formation of groundwater or become a part of subsurface runoff process. Thus, the percolation process represents the flow of water from unsaturated zone to the saturated zone. Runoff. Runoff is the water that pulled by gravity across land's surface. It replenishes groundwater and surface water as it percolates into an aquifer. It is an underground layer of water bearing rock or moves into a river stream of watersheds. It becomes from absorbed water from rain, snowmelt, irrigation or other sources, compressing a significant element of the water cycle as well as the water supply when it drains into a watershed. So, runoff is also a major contributor to the erosion which carves out canyons, gorges and related landforms. The rate of runoff that can happen depends on the amount of rainfall, porosity of soil, vegetation and slope. Only 35% of precipitation ends up in the sea or ocean and the other 65% is absorbed into the soil. So, runoff process. So, water is getting runoff. See, rainwater, okay, surface runoff water on the land, evaporation is happening, groundwater recharge, surface water groundwater interaction, bedrock, ocean. So, it falls on the land and comes to the ocean, and through ocean it's get evaporated. Evapotranspiration is happening from trees and plants here and the land also. So, evaporation is happening. So, this is the process of runoff. Types of runoff. Based on the time interval between the instance of rainfall and generation of runoff, the runoff may be classified into following three types. There are three types in runoff. What are they? First one is surface runoff. It is the portion of rainfall which enters the stream immediately after the rainfall. So, what is surface runoff? It is a portion of rainfall which enters the stream immediately after the rainfall. So, it is entering the stream immediately rainfall comes. It occurs when the rainfall is longer, heavier and exceeds the rate of infiltration. When the rain is heavier, okay, for the longer time, surface runoff happens. Okay. In this condition, the excess water makes a head over the ground surface which tends to move from one place to another places. So, another following land gradient and is known as overland flow. When the overland flow joins the streams, channels or oceans, it is termed as surface runoff or surface flow. Subsurface runoff. The water that has entered the subsoil and moves laterally without joining the water table to the streams, rivers or oceans is known as subsurface runoff. The subsurface runoff is usually referred to interflow. Base flow. It is a flow of underground water from a saturated groundwater zone to a water channel. It usually appears at a downstream location where the channel elevation is lower than the groundwater table. Groundwater provides the stream flow during dry periods of small or no precipitation. So, next, units of the measurement pertaining to hydrology. Evaporation or interception, it is in inches or centimeter. Infiltration, it is measured in inches or centimeter per hour. Precipitation, inches or millimeter or centimeter. Runoff, inches or millimeter or centimeter. Runoff rate, cubic feet per second. Runoff volume, acre feet or cubic feet. Storage, cubic feet or acre feet. Recap. So, we will just recap what we have seen in this lesson. So, water is one of the most important elements on the earth, as we all know. All plants and animals need water for survival. About 71% of Earth's surface is covered by water. Out of this, only about 2.8% is fresh water and the remaining is 97.2% is salt water found in seas and oceans. Hydrological cycle is a global sun-driven process where water is transported from oceans to atmosphere, from atmosphere to land and from land back to oceans. There are 6 main components in hydrologic cycle. They are evapotranspiration, condensation, precipitation, infiltration, percolation and runoff. The precipitation in the warmer parts of the world is in the form of rain or drizzle. The common types of precipitation includes rain, sleet, freezing rain, hail and snow. Infiltration occurs near the surface of the soil and delivers water from the surface into the soil and plant rooting zone. Percolation moves it through the soil profile and rock layers to form groundwater. Okay, children, we have completed the lesson 3 from geography. So read out the lesson. If you don't understand, you can ask me. Thank you and take care.